Hi guys, Nigel here again. Right, just another update and a bit of a how-to on how to replace gun barrels. As you can see from pictures, I've put the tailplanes on, which were a bit difficult because the actual nub to stick it in was only about a millimetre and a half, 1.5 millimetres long. So when you put it in, it was quite fragile. So I had to hold it there quite a while to make sure I get the right angle, and even now it's not brilliant. Right, so how to replace gun barrels. As you can see, hopefully, alongside, I've already done those ones. I hope you can see them. You can just see these ones here, these three here. So I just did them to give me a bit of a test, let's say. So now we're going to concentrate on these three here, on this side. Right, start off, measure how long they protrude out. These protrude out about 1.5 mil. So I know that much. And then just cut the existing ones off. Get that rubbish out of the way and just scrape it flat. That's a bit better angle. Right, so then you just scrape them flat. So now those have been cut off. Alright, you can see those there, those have been cut off. Right, just with the scalpel or craft knife or X-Acto knife, just put a little hole where you want it. What I'll be using is some of this that I picked up today from the local holiday shop. It's basically a 1 mil metal tube. Okay, so for that we need a 1 mil hole. Now, because that is just slightly bigger than 1 mil, the actual housing where the gun goes, I've got a smaller drill. Don't mind what's outside. I think this is a 0.6 mil of a drill bit. Okay, so now I'm just going to go gently into it, twisting it backwards and forwards first, just to make sure. There we are. And just gently, don't force it, just do it ever so slightly. If you force it, you might break the housing. So just nice and gently push it in. Until you go all the way through where you want it. There we are, that's through. Oh. I don't know if you'll be able to see because this light's rubbish, but there is a hole there. So we'll move on to the next two. Again, just make sure you find the centre. Doesn't matter if it's just slightly off centre, as long as you don't go out of the actual housing. Because you don't want to split it, but if you do, it's not the end of the world, because you can always just apply some styrene glue. Right, so that's two done. Now for the third. Remember, this is only a guide hole. Alright? Right, so that's all three now done. You can just see them there. hopefully. Right, so now we move on to our 1mm drill bit. And these won't take a lot to go through. Just put it in and just gently, ever so gently. Right, that's through. Two. Three. Right, so they're all the way through. So just put that your drill bit to one side for a minute. Next, you want to be able to. You want some brass tube. You can just see that there, and I'll show you how I cut it. Right. What I wanted to do, I wanted to make sure that it went in there, and once it was in there, it was going to be solid. So I cut it at 1/2 centimetre or 5mm length. So with my metal ruler, get your piece of metal tube or styrene tube if you've got it. Just hold it. Metal tube will look better, brass. Make sure you've got a decent knife, and just roll it, because you don't want to use snips with this or cutters, because you'll end up bending the tube. And then once you're finished, there you are. So that's 2. Just need 1 more. And just make sure it's cut through. There we are. That's all that part to one side. So now we've got 3 little pieces of tube. So pick up 1 pieces. You can use tweezers, pliers, whatever you've got to do this. And all you're doing is just basically, if it'll behave itself, is behave gently. Push it in. There we are. Right, so you want about 1/2 mil. 1.5 mil, sorry. That's roughly right. So then we get the other two and do exactly the same. And that one's shrunk in a bit, so we'll just pull that one back out. We'll make sure they're all lined up properly before we glue them in place. If they aren't going, just pull it out, get your bigger drill bit again, and you just manage going a little bit further, that's all. Pick it up again. And there we are. Right, so make sure they're all lined up and about 1.5 mils. There we are, so they're all nicely lined up and they look equal. Next, I've just got some super glue I got from my local big DIY shop. It's quite a runny one, which it doesn't really matter when doing this because you want it to run in. Just cocktail stick, just wipe the excess off, and all you got to do, just touch it to each one of them, and then we've just got to let it dry. So we'll come back once it's dry, and I'll show you what else I just do. So the glue's dried on them, so all I need to do now is change that for a smaller drill bit. It's just over here. Well, this is the awkward bit, getting it lined up. Right, that's it. And then all we're doing, this metal tube, so there is a hole, but because obviously if you cut through it, it's going to be slightly misshapen. So, all we're doing is just making sure there is actually a hole there for the rounds to come out. It's not picking it up very well. Tell you what, we'll try something a little bit different. Right, so as you can see, there's the barrels in situ. I think you'll agree, if you'll focus, that they look better like that than the old plastic ones. And just another thing I want to show you. Remember the other day I said about the bombs? Well, if you just look inside there, no hole. All I did was some evergreen tube. Is cut it to the length of the bomb, stuck it in the end, and used some of my crazy spoon and glue concoction in the end. So once that's dry, I should be able to file that in there very gently, but I should be able to file it flat, but that makes it look a lot more realistic, I feel. Alright, so next we'll be on to the rescribing, which, as you can see, I'm going to need a lot of. But hey ho, it's the way things have to go. So I'll see you next time on the next update, which probably will be a little bit of rescribing. I've never shown it before, but I might as well show it again on this as I'm building it. Alright, so thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.